All right. Hello and happy Saturday, everyone. How are you? Hopefully everybody's doing good. It's been a while since we've sat in this chair. Um, Happy to be here. Happy to be here to support you guys through the next couple days of weather here, and possibly even looking into Tuesday. Um, so I just got into town. Got some appointments that I need to take care of this week. Then I'll be going back, hopefully, to get the next surgery done relatively quickly. So we finally got most of that squared away with the VA, and we're working through that process. So sorry about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick weather briefing for tomorrow. I know there's a lot of people out there right now that are kind of antsy about this weather and what it's going to bring and what's going on. So before we go too far, just in case you don't want to see all the pertinence, I'm not worried about anything above I-70 tomorrow. And realistically, and I'll show you why here shortly, I'm not really worried about anything above Evansville. So I think this is another situation that's a little overblown. I'll get into a little bit of the details of to why. But there is one big part of this, and let me get over to that real quick here. We'll make it a little bigger for you there. So what we're looking at there, that is your categorical risk level. So, they put you from 1 to 5, and then, you come down here, you got just thunderstorms. So what you have is this lime green key lime pie right here. That's just your thunderstorms. Then you have a 1, marginal risk of severe weather, 2, slight risk, 3, enhanced, and so on and so forth. So that's the probability map they put out. I think it's well overblown. So why don't we get into why I'm showing that? So first, we're going to look at our categorical risks for a tornado. That puts us in a 2% area with a 1 level intensity. So if anything does pop off tomorrow, God forbid, it will be of the lowest intensity is what they're saying there. Sorry about that. Wind, we are looking at, yet again, the lowest level of intensity, but we're in that 15% graph. I'm more concerned about the wind than anything else, and we're going to get into that. Joseph, my man, we'll talk soon. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go tomorrow, though. I'm not feeling all that great right now. Hail's not a concern for us tomorrow, guys. And this is just from the Storm Prediction Center, but I'm going to also show you why. So we're going to walk over here. I said walk. We're going to scoot over here to the weather models. I got to move my chair because this hurt my neck a little bit. So this right here, and I moved it. Yeah, yoo-hoo. It's too far. So as these storms come through, you can see that kind of gray area that starts to form over Indiana there. I'm going backwards. So yet again, we have a squall line you can see that has the capability to form here. So really for a tornado to kick off, that number that you see there on the screen, the 807 kg, so that's 807 joules per kilogram, it needs to be over 2,000 really for that area to start really kicking off. So if we come down here, this is where it gets intense, okay? So if I click on the sounding for this, and it better not make me a liar. Yeah, so there's no significant issues of a tornado in that, even though it looks like it's strong intensity, it's not, okay? Just nothing really matches up for that. If you don't know what those are, that's a whole nother class for a whole nother reason. So that's what I'm talking about. So the fuel that's going to take these thunderstorms and fire them up and say, hey, let's make some cake. It's not going to be there tomorrow. So as these storms come through, you can see that the southern push is there. But, we don't really start to pick up. Arkansas. Now, with some of this warmer moisture that's going to push up from the Gulf, I think there's some possibility we could get here in Kentucky and Tennessee, and then it's going to push off to the south and east, but I don't think it's going to be all that of a severe event, okay? So let's go back. Let's look at some timing a little bit here and look at what the radar is we're expecting to look at. We're going to get in a little bit closer for you guys just so we can get a better idea of what we're looking at here. Can everybody hear me okay? That's where they've been going. So if you're watching in the comments, Joseph said they have Allen County Fairgrounds loaded with arbor trucks and bucket trucks, which blows my mind. So I drove today. I left Central Time, Oklahoma City. I don't know, it was probably around 4 a.m. on my way up this way. And man, I passed so many bucket trucks, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what are they doing? Where are they going? So I don't think it's going to be that bad of a wind event, but I mean, we can dig into that a little bit further here. So, but let's look at some timing here. Maybe somebody's seeing something that I'm not seeing to have a bunch of bucket trucks up here, but it's not like we're having a hurricane. So, so here we go. We get into timing. So you see this little Zulu clock up here. We got to remember we're -4 on that. And smack. One more. All right, that's good enough. So you see we have one little line right there. Hey, John. Thank you. It's not intense, right? This has moisture. We can see we have a 983 millibar low pressure. That is low. So what that's going to do with a low pushing jet stream, that's going to push that wind really far down to the ground. And we see all the wind lines. Those are all going to be really compressed together, and that's going to really squeeze that wind through there, okay? So why don't we go ahead. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm getting ahead of myself here. There it is. So I'm going to go to this, just because this is going to back me up no matter what the Storm Prediction Center says. So this is signs of a supercell thunderstorm, okay? I'm just going to let this play through here. I haven't looked at this. You guys are looking at this with me together for the first time. You see out there, out west. All right, so we see we have that little pop-up right there, right? So that's the same time frame that we have the thunderstorms come through there. So hopefully you didn't look at that and go, oh my gosh, we're going to get nailed. Let's see. That's about as bad as it gets. Guys, it says marginal severe, okay? And there's some possibilities from rotation. The slinky is not rotating. We don't have anything that's actually linking together inside that sounding that's saying, hey, we're going to get it. The only big risk we have through this whole system, guys, is going to be with the wind. So just keep that in mind. Now that goes back to this. You know, you look at hail. No. You look at tornado. No. You look at wind. Maybe that's something I should probably look at. So, you know, that's what kind of drew my attention to that. So, you know, we can look at 850 millibar height wind. That's really what's going to be knocking on our front door for that. So let's get up here a little bit further. So you can see how that really starts to scrape the ground there. That's getting into Monday. We don't want to go too far. So I don't remember what the calculation is. So technically right there, that's a 79 mile an hour wind gust associated with that line just ahead of the front. So that's what we're going to have to keep an eye on, guys. This is going to be just a little above ground level for us. So, of course, a little closer to the ground level is going to be probably in the 60s and 50s. So, yeah, as that storm pushes through, we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on it. Because that's definitely going to scrape the ground, and then it's going to get mad, and it's going to really push that wind through there. I mean, look at it out here in Ohio. That's going to be absolutely atrocious. So yeah, does anybody have any questions for the weather coming up? Like I said, this is going to be a big windbag event for us. The way I'm feeling, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm feeling this way, I'm going to be a couch potato the whole time. We'll see how it goes. If we do get severe weather, and I don't want to sound insensitive, but I'm not going to go out and chase a windstorm. It's going to have to be something a little better. But I'm also not going to travel down to Kentucky to chase something either. So, so tomorrow as this stuff comes through, we will keep an eye on if a chase is needed, and if need be, I'll post the radar in here. If anybody has any concerns or anything like that. But it looks like this is going to happen overnight into Monday. So this would be about 11 p.m. when it comes through. Like I said, give that some time either way. If I was a betting man, I'd put it 10 to 1 as a time frame for when these storms are going to come through there. So yeah, nothing too crazy. You don't be ruin your Monday. We can fast forward a little bit here, and you can see what's on the backside of this here. Now, keep in mind, guys, the ground is warm, so nothing's going to really stick. But that is a moisture-driven low front, and it is packed with moisture. So we could see some really big, beautiful flakes right on the backside of this. Depends on how much cold air actually penetrates on the back, so we're going to have to watch for that. And we'll go from there. The good news is with the high winds that we're going to get, if we do get to a flash freeze point, which I did not check to see how fast the temperatures are going to drop tomorrow. But I know we start out really decent around 70 degrees, and then we tank down to 27. So they're saying that could inhibit a little bit of a half an inch of snow on Monday. We'll get through that. Monday's another day. I'll have more time tomorrow to dig into a little bit of weather models and whatnot. We'll go from there. But if you look what's coming up, guys, 57, 62, 63. It's looking fantastic. All right. Anybody have any questions about the weather coming up? We do have a wind advisory in effect for tomorrow as well, going into Monday early morning. So keep that in mind. It is going to get windier than it was the other day. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's see what they put the speeds up to on this. So this is south winds 25 to 35, gusts 45 to 55. 55 is that cutoff on severe weather, on a severe category, so we'll have to watch for that. I think there's a good possibility Sunday afternoon into Monday that it could get a lot hotter than that. So we'll see what happens. But as far as actual severe thunderstorms, I don't really see it. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to go rest my neck, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Thanks for joining me tonight, and hopefully we can do this some more. I don't know if I'll try to take my computer out there with me. Currently, my next appointment with my surgeon is April 28th. So I had some things that I needed to come here and settle and fix up and get ready before that happens. So I left yesterday morning, which was 8:30 local time here in the morning, and I got here at 7:30 tonight. So I'm a little bit of a trooper, but I think I paid a little bit of a price for it on this one. So, all right, guys. Well, if you don't have any questions for me, I got one question for you. Is Don still your favorite storm chaser? Because if so, I'll send him to the next tornado as well. So we're working on a plan, guys, and we'll make it smoother and better operational. Joseph, I'll get in touch with you here shortly. I'm going to get my rear end inside, and then I'll get a hold of everybody. All right, guys. Well, have a great night, and talk to you later.